You know, I've always wondered what size excavator I would need to load the mill, so we're going to check that out. Got this big monster white pine right here. It's about a 20 footer. It's about, if I had to give you a guess, 28 across the butt. We're going to see if this 305 will load it. Good afternoon, YouTube. We are getting ready to chip basically all my slab wood. And my friend Paul Moskovsky at Moskovsky Landscaping, and if you're in Massachusetts and you have a bunch of landscaping to do and you want the best of the best, Paul Moskovsky is your guy. Moskovsky. He's down in Falmouth, Massachusetts. He wins all the flower shows. He's got the best vision of anybody I've ever seen. But what we need to do is Ralph Alfieri Tree Service, Alfieri Tree Service down in Cape Cod, is coming to chip all my stuff for me. And he's got a big 20-inch chipper. And because we have so much slab wood, I wanted to load it with an excavator, and Paul was nice enough to drop me off a 305 cat compatible excavator. He's always had cats, and this is some sort of Lugong thing, supposedly the size of a 305, and we're going to use this to load Ralph's chipper. So right now what I'm doing is I'm getting a path back to my back slab wood for Ralph, and I'm going to try out this Lugong, and we're going to see how it goes here. Oh, just going to hold the key for like 2 minutes to get it to start. I'm going to flip you around, and we're going to go up and we're going to see if we can lift up this 20-foot long white pine, this monster, with this thing, because I would like to have an excavator around the mill yard for loading big logs on the mill without disturbing the mill. And see, I assume this lifts. Yep, that's that. And I don't know what size I need, because if this won't lift a big log, I can load small logs with, well, I can load big logs with my Bobcat. I can load anything I have in my yard with the Bobcat, but it's tough on the mill without being able to place it down. So the question is, grapple for the Bobcat, my T650, or whether I get an excavator that I can do a little more with. But if it won't pick up this big log, it's not worth it. So I'm going to flip you around I'll flip you around in a second. Let's just get this thing going here. So, yep, you change the controls for me. Yep, good. Controls I'm used to. I assume this is throttle. Probably got auto throttle too. Let's go ahead and, all right, we're going to track our way out of here. Everything is backwards right now. And I'll get you flipped around facing the front here in a second once I get spun around. I'll show you the log. Get you flipped around facing. Sorry I don't have my mics on, so that is the log that we're going to lift right there. We're going to try to. It's a pretty big one. And we're going to go ahead and yank up and around the side of it here. There we go. Now we're going forwards. And if I can't lift a log this big with it, then I would need something bigger than this 305. Which 305 cat-sized machines, a decent-sized little excavator, they'll lift a lot. This thing up out of the way. Got some lumber bunks and stuff behind me that I had to move from out back. So let's see if, we're going to have to get in close, no doubt. This is no joke log. Let's see if this thing will lift it up. Ralph's Medivic trailer was able to unload it. Let's see if this is going to get us the phone. A little curl. I would seriously doubt that this is going to lift this log. So, a little curl under. Ooh. Nope, I take it back. Nope, come on. Curl it under. No, I take it back. This will lift this log. No kidding. Wow. Nope, gonna fall. That's pretty incredible, actually. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. I'm gonna back up. If I can get my forward reverse figured out on my sticks here. Back up. So I'll get a little more centered this time. Granted, I've been running excavators and backhoes and stuff like that since I was a kid. However, I do not run them every day. He asked me how I wanted the controls set up, and I said, I kind of go by my brain, so I'll change them. If it does something that my brain doesn't want it to do, then I'll change them. Yeah, that picks it up, no problem. Nice. Because everything's computerized now, you kind of just get in and whatever controls my eyes want to see. Typically, I run left hand swing and boom, and right hand dipper and curl and extend on the bucket. So he said that was John Deere controls, but I think that's kind of standard controls. At least I was taught on standard controls. We used to have to change machines over to John Deere for people that wanted to run John Deere controls. The travel thing is going to kill me. So, yeah, we'll pick up that log. That's interesting. Shove it back. Alright, put it back in the pile. And we're going to travel out back. Let's see if it curls the thumb with just regular curl. Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't overpower the thumb. That's sweet. Alright, we're going to get to running out back. I'll show you what's going on out back. And I would put you on my face while I'm talking, but I want to show you what's going on out here. So we got a back and chipper truck through here, right through here, around my sawmill. Kind of where I'm crawling right now. Check this out. We got all next to the mill cleaned up, and I don't know if you can see right to the left of my bucket, my big slab wood piles back there. Well, that's what we're going to be chipping. So I'm going to start pulling that stuff out and staging it in a pile next to the shed. So he can back the chipper in right here next to the sawmill, and I can feed it with the excavator. At least that's the plan. So we got all, I'm going to keep doing that, going backwards. you notice, my sawhorses and my tables and everything are gone from next to the mill. I kind of stuffed them off to the side, and we're just making sure that we got a good clear path for him to get the chipper in there, which is probably going to include getting all this stuff out of here, right here, all these bunks right here. I'm going to move all these out of here so we can make a wide turn. And yeah, so that is what's going on. See if I like it better with doing it by foot. Not really. Kind of used to doing it by hand, but at the same time, the prop is I'm facing backwards. But I do like to, when I want to travel forward, pulling on the sticks back, rather than having to push them forward. That's kind of uncomfortable to travel a long way when pushing forward. So I'm going to get at this. I think what I'll do is I'm going to set you guys up on a tripod, I think, and try to get a little bit of footage of it. It's kind of a stinking mess. The pile's kind of a stinking mess. I'm going to start pulling the top of the pile apart first. And try to get it out where it makes sense here, which I'm not really sure where that is yet. I know that if I swing right now, see that tree right there? That tree's kind of in the way. So I need to get a bunch of this stuff kind of out here. So I'm just gonna back up just a little bit. I think the place that makes the most sense is kind of right here. Setting right here, and then he can back in here, and I can be right where that little swirl is in the ground right here, and I can just grab the stuff and throw it on the... No, you know what? No, it would be better. It would be better if the stuff was all right there. That's where I need it. I gotta move this stuff out of here, and it all should go right there, and then I can set up to the side of it. I don't know. I think so. I'm gonna do some test runs here. Let's travel over to the right here. I mean the left there a little bit. Without hitting my shed, we're in just a little. If I'm over here, and if the chipper's right in front of me, or if the chipper's over more this way, right here, and I'm going to be dropping it on the chipper like this. I'm going to boom down a little bit so you can see. So if I'm dropping it on the chipper right here, I would want to swing over here and pick it up right here. So if I can move a bunch of that pile, put it right here, so I could grab it, pick it up, dump it on the chipper. I think that's the best way to go right there. So I want to make it so when I swing over, I'm picking stuff up right here. And he can back right up to the pile. So that's where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put the pile sideways right here. I don't want to be traveling with it. I want to go get it all now and move it over here. So that's going to be the goal. We're going to make a big pile right here. Then I'm just swinging left, swinging right, dumping it right on the chipper, and it's getting blown into the truck, and away we go. So the stuff down here needs to go. And I think that's it. Let's see here. Let me get myself out of the way here. Yeah, I am traveling over the drive motors right now. I'm just going to move this out of the way. Cool enough. And yeah, I'll try to get some more video. I'll probably set you guys up on a tripod while I'm moving stuff. And don't make fun of me. Like I said, I don't run an excavator day in and day out, but I have spent a lot of hours in them. It's kind of just getting the controls the way that my mind sees what I'm doing. So when I move my hand, if I expect something to happen and it doesn't happen, I change the controls to the, you know, back in the day, it was either you ran excavator controls or backhoe controls or John Deere. And when I told him what I want to do, he's like, oh, that's John Deere. Well, I never fashioned myself running at John Deere. I always fashioned myself running at standard. So if you guys want to fill me in on the comments, left hand, swing and boom up and down, right hand, dipper and bucket. Tell me if you think that's John Deere controls. And I'm going to get you set up, and we're going to move this stuff right here, and I got to move all that stuff right there. We'll do that with the Bobcat. All right, so we got all this cleared out. Only took a few minutes. Oh, there's a good rock for my fire pit. Whenever I find rocks like this, they go, oh, there's another one. That's concrete, that's no good. Oh, there's a good pink granite rock right there. Show you what I do with these. But yeah, we got all this cleaned out, so he'll be able to back down the hill, back around the mill, come down, put the chipper right here. I can set the excavator right here. So I will be sitting right here. The chipper will be right there. I'll make a huge pile right here, kind of where the lugong is. Looks like he took all the decals off it. And then just swing and drop them in the chipper. But I'll show you what I do with these rocks. Whenever I find them as I'm walking around out here, I put them in my fire pit, which is looking a little skanky right now, but we're going to find a good spot to put them. Oh, maybe right here. That's kind of cool. So as I find them, I put them in here, keep building this thing back up. And I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start making a big pile. I'm out of fuel in the Bobcat. I got fuel in the back of my truck. I got to fuel that up, and we got to make a big pile. But I think I'll make the pile first. So we're going to get in here and start swinging chunks of slabs of wood, putting them right here so he can back right up to them. So I kind of got myself set up here. I kind of kicked everything over into a pile right here. I brought a couple of spindly pitch pines down that would never be millable. Got myself set up right here, and I think if, I'll give you a back view. I think if we, since we got all this cleared out here, he can pull the chipper right there and I can just feed him. If he kind of cheat over kind of close to the building here, I can just feed him right from there. Just keep going and going and going and going until I get into the pile. And as you know, as we're chipping stuff, I can pull stuff from the back down. I can get more down the hill as I clean up what's right in front of me first. And I think that's going to work. And we'll rip through that pile as much as we can. There's a learning curve in grabbing that stuff with the bucket. Just meaning that it's not super intuitive unless you do it all the time. So, you know, for me, I'm a little jumpy on it, and it's not like grabbing it with a claw. I'll get used to it as we go. And then as we go out, we're going to chip that pile over there. And from now on, once we chip this pile, I won't be putting any more slab wood back here. This is going to be my firewood area. My splitter is going to sit in there. I'll grate it all out and have it just as a firewood area. And from now on, I'll put all my slab wood over there, so it's nice and close for, you know, if one of my tree guys can come, if they're coming home half empty one day, they could stop in and we can just chip, you know, just two of us throwing the stuff in by hand can chip that pile from time to time to time to time. So we will chip that pile on his way out. And I will take a look around. I'm going to go in and get Danny and give him a walk. And we will take a look around for any more sticks back there that, you know, aren't really any good for milling that we can chip. So stuff that's not too big, but if it's too crooked, then we'll just pull it out and chip it and get rid of it. Hopefully I can chip those two big slabs on my way after I get myself some room too. But yeah, is what it is. I think we're ready to go, as long as I kind of pick from the outside first, so I don't slam anything into them or dump anything on top of them. And then we'll pick what's closest to us first, and then just munch through the pile and get at it, and hopefully start all over again. Get back to where there's nothing here. And then we got to mill Jesse Key's spruce. This is the next order here. And I gotta do some thinking about how I want to put my table and my sawhorses and my big sawhorse bunks back here. I'm not really sure how I want to set it up yet. I do know that we have another 8 feet of track coming, so that's going to put us back. This mill's going to get 8 feet longer, so it's going to be like out to here. So I do want to kind of rough level this place. I mean, it doesn't have to be done in the next couple days, but I want to make it so that probably going to move all my edge stickers out of here, because I want to make it so that I can keep driving over here, so that I have 360 degrees access to the mill versus the way it was. And then we got to put in a retaining wall all the way along here. So one step at a time. That's today. We got a nor'easter coming in here, and it's already starting to kind of spit out, and it's going to be getting close to Danny's time for something to eat. So I'm going to get him outside, give him a walk around, and hopefully on Friday morning all that stuff goes bye-bye. It's going to be challenging a little bit. I need to get down the hill more. Maybe I'll pull down the hill to the pile and pull from the back. I'm not really sure yet. You know, if it was a claw, it'd be a lot easier, but it's definitely going to be easier than loading it by hand, I'll tell you that. Or trying to pick through that with bobcat forks is impossible. So, appreciate the watch, and like, share, subscribe. Hit me up with any questions if you have them, guys. You can go down in the description in the video if you're going to buy anything from Norwood or inquire from Norwood. Go into the description, use my affiliate link, and it tells Norwood that you watched my video somehow. But we always appreciate the watch. And for now, it's Power Solutions out.